Okay, today is September 6, 2016, and today's meeting is for the Planning Commission. For the three of you that are here, we are missing one other individual that agreed to be here. I have taken that down to him, he looked at it, and I'll share his thoughts as well with that. Before I do a roll call, since we technically don't have the Planning Commission team official yet, the three of you, as well as Jason Life, all agreed to that, but I want to go through just to sign a couple things, or what you guys decide between Patsy and Terry, which position. Rex, you have no choice when it comes to term, so to speak, as well as myself. So on that first, right up at the top of the agenda there, appointing the Planning Commission, there's a 2-year, a 4, and a 6. Rex is a term, so when he is, his term for council seat comes up, it ends right there as well. And then when my term comes up as mayor, it also ends. But the other 3 positions for citizens is a 2, 4, and 6. Now, I have a feeling I know who is getting the 6 between the 3 that have a choice. Since one is not here, it's almost by default.
Not me.
Exactly. But what this means is saying, yes, I would do it for up to 2 years or 4 years or 6. Now that doesn't mean that you can't go through and say, I just can't do it anymore and we can't fill a replacement. It is the guidelines that we kind of follow. So there is an out if you so need. Okay? So Rex, with that, when you become term, I am term.
Okay. Between
the 2 of you ladies, who would like the 2-year?
I better do it. She's smarter than me.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah. You can do 4. I mean, yeah, you can.
And like I say, it's one that if you do get to a point where you just can't.
And it doesn't say any time that it can't be consecutive terms that say she's
I did not
so
read
much.
I did not find that either. So who would like the 4? Okay, so Patsy 4, Jerry 2, and then Jason Life is the other one who could not be here due to vacation. He will get the 6. So with that, Emily, would you do a roll call for me?
Sure.
Just to be
Joey?
official. Yep.
Rex,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Patsy, and Jason.
And when, like I said, when we get to the point of discussing his thoughts on it, I will gladly do that. I told him I would share it and argue his point one way or the other. If you go to this colored map here, the area that we're talking to, and I'll point up here as well, that is a picture of this area here. Right here is the school track. This is the farmland that is between, or just north of where Browns live. So it's that little plot right there that we're discussing. The land to the south of the Browns, which is also, it's not on this map.
Because there's a road there.
Well, the road continues on. The road would say be here.
Okay.
But there is some more property right there.
Okay.
If you would go to,
That map there has been updated since we purchased it.
Okay.
6 acres.
if you would look at this one, you have Browns right here. That would be sitting here. And then there's farmland right there and then the road. Okay? So just to give you a reference. This area that we're talking about right now is zoned residential. The land that is down here has not been zoned or designated for anything that we could find anywhere since it was purchased. But this area right beside and behind the Brown residence is designated as residential. That land has been put up for sale, or it has went through WETCO, and we said we have 30 plus acres that is up for development. We will gladly sell it. We had a company come in and say that they were interested in 1.7 acres, which would be off of this picture here, 1.7 acres there just north of Browns in the residential. They are looking for development They did go through and submit a bid. We did 5 weeks, I think it was, whatever the requirement was, but I believe it was 5 weeks. And their bid was the winning bid for that property. And you will see the real estate contract that they submitted, and then council approved, and then I did sign.
Okay.
They are development, and you can see for the letter that was submitted by GBT, GS&P, Grisham Smith and Partners, dated August 25th, 2016. What they are requesting, this was sent to the village administrator at that time, which was Mr. Gary St. John. Subject was rezoning request. Dollar General, West Unity Striker, Evansport Road, Striker, Ohio. We were discussing that property right there, which is designated here. If I haven't said that enough. What they are asking by our ordinance to go through and have that change from residential to commercial for the purpose of developing that for a Dollar General. And the first thing that was needed was to go through and have a planning commission. So that officially came about today. You know, there's been one in our ordinances before, but never was really used. So what we are looking at is a motion for our solicitor to prepare a resolution for council to adopt the planning commission's recommendation for the change. So basically, this group is to go through and say, yes or no. We want to stop right here and nothing happen, or we would like to go through and ask the solicitor to go through and go ahead and propose the resolution for council to move forward. Any questions on what we need to do one way or the other? I think I've said both ways.
Okay, and you've asked all, I mean, I know it's up to you guys, but residential, are they okay with it? I mean, I'm sure they are.
At this point, what happens from here is when we go through and approve, if we say no, it stops. If we go through, and I think there's a way that council can go through and override that, I think it's like 3/4, so it'd have to be 5 out of 6 have to override this commission. By going through and doing a resolution and asking council to do this, what it does is it sets up a public hearing in 30 days, which would be October 10th at 5 p.m. So anyone can come up that's within the village and state their case for or against. It, basically, they would come and plead their case of why or why not. So there is an opportunity for that, yes.
I just wondered.
Yeah. There's definitely, we're not doing anything behind
Right.
closed
right.
doors. I mean, it's an open thing. Absolutely. So there's kind of the steps. I will go through, if you look at the preliminary site plan, this will give you a really good idea of what the layout would somewhat look like. Obviously, you don't see a lot of features, but you see the drawing of it. The drive would be on the south side, so it would be setting this way. This would be the north, so if you were heading out of town, you would have the Browns here and then the larger plot down there. So that's how it would set. Any questions on location or anything like that?
How close will it be to the Browns? I mean, pretty close? In
The
between.
adjacent, the land, there would actually be 331 within a few feet. Okay, I'm going from memory here. I believe the plot from property to property for that, for the farmland right there, which is residential, I believe that is 330 feet. So based on this, showing 210, that would leave about 120 feet.
Oh, yeah.
That
There's
is,
the barn there too and everything.
so that is, I may be off just a fuzz, but it's in that ballpark. With my 330.
For a right away, right?
Mhm. So there's still some possibilities there. It would be butting up against the ones on the north side, the back there. And I think they have some trees, and I think there's a few things there,
Mhm.
so. I had to run home and get mine. Patsy, do you have any questions, or,
I don't have any questions.
and I know you've probably had,
I've looked at the different things before. Jason have concerns?
Jason's comments were anything we can do to help improve Stryker. He was all for. He was very positive towards this. He did ask about a couple of the stores in town. Wondered about taking some of their customers away. But then as he went through that a little bit, he realized that like with the general store, their specialty realistically is their deli. I mean, you have the other things there to help. The carryout would be like the gas and the beer, that type of thing, the milk. So would it tap into them? I would say maybe a little bit, but not their main items. So he was for it. He was definitely for that. Everything was positive. He had a couple questions, but one of them was the property line there on the south, and then the other one was discussing a little bit about the other stores, or concern for the other stores as well. And I see that the same way, as far as with those two stores. Will it touch a little bit, but not the things that are their main things that draw people to those stores? Will it affect both of their bread sales? Maybe. I mean, little things like that. But if you're going into a store to get your deli products, more than likely you're going to buy your bread right there too. So will it touch it? It might a little bit, absolutely.
I see in their drawing then it's a 20 feet setback from the property line to the north from the, on the north from the properties that are there in the north. And the only thing that's really close to it is the one property that has a shed or something there, it looks like, just looking from the aerial view from the auditor's website.
That would be this one here, Terry. Looking at that one, yeah. The other advantage, and this one is a little bit misleading, this picture, because it doesn't butt right up against, but in the drawings here, it's 210 feet. So just be aware of that rendition, is off just a fudge. When I spoke with one of the gentlemen there, they did talk about accommodating for privacy type items, if that would ever come up. When I spoke with these, where they would put some type of like either privacy fence, I think it was, what they spoke, they would be accommodating.
Oh, wow.
So,
And that's what it's looked like, maybe that they had in this drawing here where the posts and such.
that could
Are to
very
the
well
south.
be, absolutely.
That was gonna be my question, if someone comes up and they complain a little bit, I was wondering if they're gonna be willing to take care of that issue and make it so they can have privacy.
But,
Well,
on
okay,
the
yeah.
north and the south is what it
Looks like it.
It
Mhm.
appears that.
When I spoke to GBT, which is the ones that put the bid in, the contact there, that's what he stated, is that they put up, I think it's 8-foot wood fence. I'm going for way back conversation, but wood fence was.
Is what they're talking?
And I think 8 is what our ordinance is, maybe it was a 6 foot, it was something. I think we can't go any higher than 8 inside the village, currently, for that type of thing. So is that a concern? Sure. Sure. Yeah, I think it definitely needs addressed. Is there a solution to it? It looks like they have that. But like I say, with us going through and saying yes tonight, that does not mean it's a done deal by any means, but it allows citizens to come in and state their concerns.
Mhm.
Any other questions that I can try and answer?
And do you, well, I guess that's later,
What's that?
do you hire, I mean, is there a building inspector that does help when they like build or whatever? How does that all work?
When it comes time to them building it,
Those are state specs.
State? Okay.
yeah, they'll have to meet those guidelines.
They gotta go by state code.
We don't have to hire anybody, I mean,
No, that,
that's.
what basically happens is they went through and said, here's what we pay for the property.
Mhm.
You guys accept that, and here's what we're looking at doing. So, that's kind of where it's at right now. Our hands, I don't wanna say are clean from it right now, because we do have a little bit of input with this. We need to make sure that they do follow, the village ordinances, which I'm not too concerned about.
Right.
This company here that is the contractors or the ones doing the service, they're very well known. They're also the ones that did Lovins Commons, there in Toledo, they developed that.
Mhm.
So this is not large or too much for them by any means.
Right.
They're known for doing Dollar Generals as well.
Mhm.
I'd like to move the planning commission's request, a resolution.
It would be right on the minutes there. A motion for the solicitor to do a resolution.
A motion for the solicitor to prepare a resolution for the council adopting the planning commission's recommendation to grant
Oh, it's right in the back.
the request
Yeah.
Oh, got it, yeah.
to rezone,
To rezone that area.
to rezone.
1.7.
Okay, Em, you get to do a roll call for this one.
Patsy.
Oh, wait, we need a second, we need a second.
Oh, yeah.
I'll second that.
Okay. Getting ahead of myself.
Okay, Patsy,
Yes.
Rex,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Joey.
Yes. Okay, with that, a resolution will be drafted. Our solicitor will draw that, and then that will go before council Monday night, and then the date, I gave away my paper.
Here.
The
October
date,
10th?
October 10th, and that is for a public hearing to discuss that property and any concerns that citizens have. And that will be put out as well. That's not going to be just throw it under the radar. That will be put out, just like our minutes, it's gonna be on film. So with that, thank you for reviewing this. I don't know with some of the changes that have happened here recently, if we'll get more things like this. As far as people requesting to do a few things or some changes with zoning. So that may come into play, but I can tell you in the 5 years that I've been up here doing something in this room, this is the first time that I've ever seen the planning commission utilized. So that's positive, and I want to say thank you to each of you. Absolutely. I want to say thank you to each one of you guys for coming through and being willing to put yourself out there a little bit. It may not seem like something large, but it really is a big deal, I think. So I appreciate that very much. Okay. This was the only matter tonight, and I apologize for somewhat short notice. We still met our guidelines for the notice, but it was so we could get this set through for council on Monday. and then get our 30 days, is what this is all about. So, yes, pushed a little bit right up front, but we're not pushing through the whole process once it started.
So you wanted it done before, I mean, like. this
We
was-
needed to get this
Yeah.
going so council could
Right.
work on it Monday.
You needed your 30 days by the tenth. So this was.
The
Right.
the 12th of October, I believe, is our council meeting next month?
Okay.
No, the 10th. Yes, the 10th is our council meeting then. So that way, we had an opportunity to let people come in and speak, and then council would be, it would be bang, bang type of thing.
Informed.
So they could hear.
So the
Rushmore.
30 days doesn't go from when the council does the resolution, or it does?
Or does it go from today?
I have to look at it. We did the count. I went through with our fiscal officer, and we did our count. And I'd have to recount, because we looked at several different options, and then we counted backwards as well.
Okay.
Next meeting's on
You were cutting,
Because
you were
we're-
cutting.
17 days to the end of the month.
Yeah, we just made our time, is
By
what it
today.
was. Yeah. So,
6:40. Like 40.
so again, thank you for coming. And then hopefully we can
Oh, now we have to.
start moving forward. Anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
A motion given.
Terry to adjourn, and I'll second.
Okay.
Everybody, good?
Okay.